Hello friends, it's Arnold here from Mada Miniatures, and today is time for another Minimum Cost Monday. We have this lovely Jeep looking thing, yeah, with the weirdest castings on the sides that we gonna change into something Gaslandy. We are at this stage, at the point where I saved like over 2 quids from the budget. So maybe we're gonna introduce something like a plastic rod, that I bought in bulk for. I think that I bought it for like $9.99 for I think 120 of them. So that would definitely singular one would fall under 2 quid. Yeah, but let's see what we're gonna go. I still have like pieces like the zip ties that's just lying around, and the pieces of the plastic that we cut up. There was like a not credit card, payment card, and what do you call it? And other pieces of armoring, that I'm using, like the Tic Tac or whatever. Well, I still have, plenty of accessory sprues from different games. So yeah, this is, and again, another source of a material that I would count as free, because I just have lying this around, and this is like from this is a wire from a broken power source. I always disassemble electronics, so I always have some wires lying around, so it is another thing that we can use. But now let's just get into the montage and start building stuff. So we have the car primed in the color that I want to have it primed, and I'm gonna very quickly do the metals with the silver, what do you call it, speed paint marker, or whatever you want to call it otherwise. So yeah, I use the toothpicks to make the cannons. Those orbs, I bought them for like, I think 150 for a like bag of 2 or 300. Yeah, so it isn't really a price contributor. Although, if you count that you need to buy a whole bag to get that, yeah, that would be a price contributor. Yeah, but I'm just ignoring that. But let's just say that I spent the entire amount on getting the orbs. They were great, and I have 2 side-mounted turrets or whatever cannons for the purposes of rules, which is nice. Yeah. Okay, so the metallics are done. I did pick up 2 paints from my paint rack, which is a plasmatic bolt and the dark wood. Dark wood is for this back part in here, the entire insert, and the plasmatic bolt we're gonna pick and choose some pieces to paint in it. So let me just add that dark wood in here. I'm gonna ignore that they are like subwoofers. I'm just gonna paint over them as well. It's just gonna be a little bit of a messing about. It would be probably much easier to paint if I disassemble the car, but yeah. One day I'm actually gonna pay attention and I'm gonna do stuff like that, disassemble stuff and paint it in pieces and then assemble it together. It's gonna be nice. Yeah, so, but yeah, color wise, my choice for this one, for some stupid reason, and I'm gonna be honest, I still think it is silly, but I decided to actually keep it white. And that I don't think that I actually own a single white car for gas lamps, which gonna be, well, not perfectly white obviously, because I'm gonna mess up when painting, but still, it is a weird thing for me to do. Alright, that's not bad. Now we need that prismatic bolt. And what I'm thinking about doing, is all of those surfaces, the what do you call it, wheel wells, all of that plastic that is originally giving it extra shape. Let's just paint it in the prismatic bolt. Hope that that paint gonna show the right color. I know it is like, it's supposed to be like a glowy green, but I usually suck at applying this kind of paint, so that's why we have a solid white base. And the solid white base actually come from the Color Forge spray paint, and they are a little bit more expensive than Games Workshop spray paints, but surprisingly 500 mils. So I think that they are a little bit bigger than Games Workshop. So yeah, I don't mind the £1 extra on top of the Games Workshop spray paint when I'm getting extra 100 mils. And it sprays very well. Like, this was what, 2 coats to cover all of that grayish, greenish stuff, which I really appreciate. It covers in only 2 very thin coats. And as well, as it is a spray paint, it dries extremely fast. So I didn't have to wait for hours to get that dry, which is another lovely bonus for me. Like, I have airbrush compressor, but it is ever so slightly broken, so I need to get myself a new one. I have a big compressor, but it's so loud that if I'm gonna use it, my neighbors gonna lose their mind. So yeah, I need to get... Oh, look at that. I'm just a genius, yeah. So let me actually move more light here. So I need to get one of those smaller compressors that is quieter than what I own, because I bought the other one to set it up in a shed that I don't own yet. That was the plan, to build a shed as a studio, but then life got in the way, and that other one is like 40 liters, and I screwed up, so I'm gonna just paint over that as well. It have a 40 or 80 liters tank, like a big tank on it, but my god, is it loud, like, oof. Now, do I want to paint let's do the lights as well in that prismatic bolt color. It's gonna be weird, but alright. So we have this, and I didn't think about anything blue. I think that I have in here Beowulf blue. I did mess it up painting the space station a little bit. There is a little bit of white on the tip, but let's hope I don't gonna mess this up. And we can paint the window blue, and we can then paint the top lights blue, or the other way around. It really doesn't matter. I think that normal brush would be much better for this. Like, there is no space to move it. Oh, I hate this. Of course, hate is a strong word. I would say strongly dislike what I'm doing. To be correct. And now we can throw those lights as blue lights. So we have green and blue lights. And actually, I like how it turned out. Now, I need to give it a couple of minutes to dry because we're gonna be using decals. Yeah, this is Adeptus Mechanicus, and we're gonna throw a couple of decals on that. Hopefully it's gonna turn out well, but I need to give it like 10 minutes to dry, so I'll be right back. Alright, so I have a couple of small decals cut out. So I have those, they are very tiny, I don't know whether you can see that, but they are skulls from the Adeptus Mechanicus cult. That would be this, cocked skull, just the tiniest ones. And I have like 2 of those triangles cut out as well. They have like weird symbols, but who cares? Now let's try to do this right, because that I have very good history with decals. I usually mess them up somehow. So let's try to do it correctly this time around. Fingers crossed. Yeah. In any case, I have 4 more of the skull ones, and I have 2, 4, 6, 8 more of the little triangle ones. So I have quite few attempts if I gonna screw this up. So we're just gonna come on, Seb. Let's just see if it is lifting of the paper or not. Yes, it is. And believe me, this is gonna be a trial. More of an error than trial, but let's try this. All right, that actually wasn't too bad. Let's just grab a nice brush and try to move that stuff around. Whoa. Okay, that is a massive success for me. It is slightly, I think, rotated, but if I'm gonna be messing with this, I'm gonna screw it up. So better leave it as it is and go to the next one. Let's give it a moment to dry, but I like how this looks like. It's kind of have this uncanny look of an eyeball. Yeah. Oh. Now I need to try to don't touch that other side, to don't destroy that decal before it dries. Okay. Patience is a problem for me, I guess. Let's just try. Okay, let's transfer this entire thing. And now let's try to remove it from the paper. Okay. It's not going bad, like surprisingly well for my level of skills with transfers. Come on. Holy moly, that's going well. But clearly the plasmatic bolt didn't dry out properly yet. And I didn't pay attention. So yeah. Wow. Okay. No, I'm happy. Like, okay, I'm gonna get my fingers green. But besides that, those little decals are working for me. I don't know how, because that I always screw it up. But this time around, I'm not. So 7 fingers up, I guess. 7 thumbs up, not fingers, thumbs. Of course, I already screwed up this when I touched it last time. So it's, kind of a mute point with me not screwing up stuff. Now, let's try this triangle. Oh, fuck, that's so small. Sorry for my French. I try to avoid it on the videos because I want this to be family-friendly channel. Okay, let's try to just move it. Remove the paper. All right. That's not tragic. Now some water, and let's try to tease it into place. There we go. I love it. Like, who haven't screwed up a single decal today, which is, well, 3 out of 4 so far. Yeah, this is number 4, and fingers crossed. Yeah. You cannot even imagine how much of a concentration this takes from me. Oh. Come on. Come on, I don't want to mess it up on the last one. Alright. Now let's try to just slide it off. Slide it completely. Alright. Now I have to tease it into the right position. Oh, shook. Okay. Better. Now let's try it again. Like, surprisingly, I was thinking that they are exactly the same corner size, but nope, they are actually directional. So, alright, and now I need to slide it to the front a little bit. Come on. Let's try more water. Alright. Now it's just sliding too much. Let's try to wick some of the water away. Alright, so I'm gonna need to leave it to dry for a while. And of course I spilled water because I completely forgot that there is water in. But there we have it. My little terrain build. Well, I wouldn't say that it is a Jeep because it is Jeep adjacent, I would say, vehicle, you know. So the only thing that I would love to really change on it is wheels. I really dislike those wheels. Yeah, the fact that it is very clean is a little bit different than what I do usually. But you know, with all of those decals, I didn't want to introduce extra visual clutter. Yeah, now you can see the decals on the front. There we have the two on the side. And if we're gonna count, you know, that each one of those orbs cost me about 2 cents, it was 60p altogether, yeah? Because that was trash, that was trash, that was trash. And toothpicks, I always have toothpicks at home, so I don't even count them, even though I bought them for like 3-pack for, I think, 2 quid, which would put a single toothpick under 1p, yeah? So if we count 1p for the 4 toothpicks that I used, that would be like a generous amount of 61p spent on this build. So there you go. If you like this video, you know what to do. Rate, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, family, and whoever else want to watch it. And have a great day and take care. Bye bye.